Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tardis Zone live on this Thursday afternoon. You are probably all wondering why I have gone live. Well, last night, Bleeding Cool did an article basically having a go at a dead man in John Pertwee. Um, it's absolutely disgusting. I will read the article for you again. I have done a video on it and given my thoughts, but this has been playing on my mind all night and I needed to talk about it. But also, the most interesting thing that I did last night, I want to give a big shout out to Matrix Lord 212 because he sent me a picture, and it was a picture of Christmas decorations. The Christmas decorations were basically recasts of David Tennant, and the Bleeding basically painted them to look like Jodie Whittaker. And the TARDIS is not even Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS either. So are merchandise companies trying to save a bit of money? That's the question I'm asking all you owners out there today. And also, if you have seen my video on the Bleeding Cool article, let me know how you feel about this guy having a pop at a guy that's been dead for 23 years and condemning him for an ad that he did 30 years ago. And if I'm not mistaken, this was an unaired ad. So I don't know why they're dragging this up. Well, I do know I have a theory myself, and here's the theory. I think, because if you read the article, they mentioned Jodie Whittaker, right? And the article's headline is basically this is the reason why we should have female doctors from now on. So this article is basically aimed at trying to justify the fact that Jodie Whittaker is basically the doctor. Now, this guy in this article had a go at fans like us, and he also had a go at John Pertwee, who is dead. It's an absolute disgrace, in my opinion. And it's after causing such a reaction that Ballstreck did a video on it straight away last night. Ballstreck actually put a video up straight away last night, and it was unbelievable. And the reaction that he got from that video was absolutely, people were disgusted by this reporter. So what I'll do is I'll do what I always do on this channel. I will read out the article in question and let me know your thoughts. I'm going to take some calls as well today. So if anybody would like to come on and talk about the topics that we're going to talk about on this channel, you are more than welcome to come on and have a chat. Do us a favor, 16 people watching at the moment. Please give the video a like if you like what we're talking about right now, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. I'll just give a few shout outs there. We'll do it real quick. So we've got mine and Kirby. We've got Marie here. How are you, Marie? We've got Yvette here. We've got Mrs. Not My Doctor Who. We've got Not My Doctor Who as well. We've got John Coogan. We have Barry as well. Welcome, Barry. We have Gary. We've got Michelle. We've got Unknown 289. We've got Renee. We've got Stephen Cassidy. We've got Yvette. And we have Axios. Axos. Welcome all. Nice to have you all here. And JJ Hunt has popped in as well. Welcome, JJ Hunt. Wish me luck with this interview, says Michelle. Oh, you have an interview. Congratulations. Is it for a job? Just wondering. Or are you interviewing someone on your channel? Oh, it's for a job. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Michelle. Hope you get it. Just be yourself. That's all you can do, and hopefully, the employers will see that you're a nice person and give you the job. So we wish you the best of luck on this channel, and let us know if you get the job, all right? Nice to hear that. I hope you get it, Michelle. You need a bit of a break, don't you? So why not? Everybody deserves a break once in a while. So yeah, I mean, look, High Desert 004's here as well. Welcome. I mean, yeah, I was going to get that Bleeding Cool article, but I mean, look, This guy clearly has a problem, and he calls us butthurt, but I think he's the one that's butthurt. Because why would you want to do an article about a guy that has been dead for 23 years? Like, what was the point? The only reason why you did it was to try, as I said, because when I read the article, you're trying desperately to attack fans like us who don't like Jodie Whittaker. You're saying that there's a bit that you know that we're spreading lies and rumors about her leaving. Well, no. The fact is that the show wasn't good enough, and you can have a rant and rave all you want about it. At the end of the day, the fans have spoken. So I'll get this article and I'll read it out for you, right? So you can hear it live again, just in case nobody seen me video last night. I will read it out. Right. Oh, by the way, I want to say a huge congratulations to Bolstrek for reaching 10 million views on his YouTube channel. A huge congratulations. Well done. Well deserved, mate. Well deserved. Now, I'm going to read this article for you. 10 million, yes, 10 million views. I think I read that right, didn't I? Hold on. I'll just make sure. Yeah, the Trigger Train has just passed 10 million views. Well done, my friend. Well bloody deserved. Well deserved. I love it. I love it. Right. Here's the article by Bleeding Cool. Now, this is by Ray Fluck. And as I said to you last night, mate, you can go and fluck yourself. Right. So he says, Doctor Who, John Pertwee, NSFW video, further proof why female doctors only from now on. And this is his opinion. Right. So Ray Fluck says, I was torn about what to do with this post, whether it was worth giving exposure to or not. But at a time when scared little boys freak out every time a woman dares to play in their corner of geek pop culture sandbox, it never hurts to remind people just how shitty things used to be and in a crap load of ways still are. For anyone who isn't a straight white male, if there's any show recently that's seen its fair share of privilege pushback in that regard, it's Doctor Who. Now, for the straight white males who just read that, oh no, for the straight white males who just read that and are rolling their eyes, feeling a little butthurt right now, good, he says. He says, good, right? You're precisely the problem I'm speaking to, and I'm not wasting my time on lectures that go nowhere. Well, I'm glad you decided not to give us a lecture because by reading your article, you're clearly an uneducated idiot. If you're gonna attack a man that's been dead for 23 years, then you must be the lowest of the low to do that. All in trying to justify Jodie Whittaker. And the reason why I say that is because it's your next paragraph, right? And this is why you done this article, and this is why you decided to put that clip out there for everybody to see, to try and discredit a doctor we all love, right? Because anything classic Who, according to you, is not worthy because you're using today's ideology and you aren't thinking that back then things were a little different. Yeah? See, this is what's happened. You have gone all crazy, and I don't even know how a guy like you can actually get to write an in Bleeding Cool or any of these other things. Well, actually, I can. See, they go for uneducated twats like you, right? And people that have this certain ideology, right? Now, I've heard the whole lad. I sat there and I heard the whole lad. And the part that everybody is well, the part that's made him angry is the part right at the end, right, where Pertwee tells a bit of a joke, right? Now, I will say it's a crude joke, right? But back in those days, it was acceptable. It's not acceptable today, we know that, right? But the thing about it is you don't drag up old things to try and justify. But here's the next part of this article, and this is why I know this is why they did it. You're the folks who think that you have the power by passing around BS on social media that Jodie Whittaker is getting fired because her ratings suck and viewers don't want a girl doctor, regardless of actual facts. Because why let facts F with your wave of misogynistic hate, right? You're the folks who took to Rotten Tomatoes to drive down Watchmen scores because how dare a black woman be a superhero lead? And how dare they make I can't pronounce that name. I couldn't pronounce it last night. I'm not even gonna try. I'll just skip that line completely. Prove it that you have no clue what Moore Gibbons' work was about in the first place. You're the folks that will probably find the below video hysterical. Here's a background from TV Museum. Now this video is on TV Museum, right? But here's the thing, right? He's saying that you folks that will probably find this video funny. It was hysterical years ago, right? And it is still a little bit hysterical. And I've actually seen all the comments in the video and people are saying it's hysterical, right? Because it is. It was a feckin' joke, right? But anyway, as I said, dig up dirt on a guy that has been dead for 23 years to try justify your precious female doctor and to justify why it should be a female doctor all the time is a pathetic little attempt by you, Ray Fluck and Bleeding Cool to discredit a legend and a guy who put a smile on a lot of kids' faces growing up in John Pertwee. How dare you do that to that man? Okay, it was years ago. It was a different time. You gobshites need to stop using today's ideology and going back and punishing people. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. If the moderators could do their jobs, could you what are you doing? What are you doing? Could you go into the comments and moderate? Yes, I do. So yeah, I mean, look, yeah, I agree with you. Ted, you need to stop. Gary, I agree with you. When the exit announcement is made, the bunch will redirect their rage towards the BBC for not following the agenda. Of course, that's exactly the way it'll go. And then when that doesn't work, they'll direct their anger then towards us. But listen, this article's not over yet, right? So again, but the good news, ignorant thinking is dying off. Literally, according to some stats on aging and crappy health. So free thinking basing Dorito and Mountain Dew kids, right? So it's assuming to watch the closed-minded stand on the shores of change with sponges in hand, cocksure in their narcissistic, self-righteous belief that they can hold back a growing wave of diversity even as they get dragged into the sea. To paraphrase a line back at them, they should appreciate. All the racists and raging misogynists will look up and shout, "Save us." And I'll look down and whisper, "New phone, who's this?" Then we'll declare a 50-year-old moratorium on straight white dudes playing the doctor. And as for John Pertwee, Well, guessing he cashed that paycheck, if that helps, you can always assume it was the master in disguise. So what if he cashed the paycheck, right? Actors back in those days, and even today, you have seen newspapers shame an actor for going out there and working in a shop, right? Because actors don't are not like the rest of us that have jobs and that have part-time jobs. These guys here, right, work from paycheck to paycheck, right? And it's not like nowadays where they get paid huge amounts of money, but even soap stars struggle sometimes. All right. So yeah, he did take the paycheck, but as I said anyway, this was 30 years ago, and you've dragged this up just to justify a female doctor, and you've had a go at a dead man, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. So, I mean, so this is about Ray Fluck. He says, proudly serving as TV editor. Ray started with Bleeding Cool in 2013 as a writer, photographer, before being brought on board as staff in 2017. Counting John Cusack as his pop culture spirit animal, his word F foo, stay strong as he continues trying really hard to be shepherd. And this is right. Where are we? Right. So, as I said, in conclusion, and if people want to actually come on and talk about what this Ray has had to say and share your opinions, but I think it's an absolute disgrace. But again, this is what these online rags do. They attack the fandoms, and they try to, and especially if there's a classic film or a classic show, and they've brought out a new one. They try and discredit the old ones, like what they've done with the Star Wars movies on the Star Wars side. You'll have the Super A fans slate the old movies and stuff, and slag them off. It's the same with Doctor Who. It's happening everywhere. And then you get the media that follow these Super A fans and all these fans that love Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, and they defend them, and they say they're the ones that actually truly are the Doctor Who fans. And actually, these magazines are going out attacking long-term fans. And you know what? Actually, even the way he writes his article, as I said again, the idiots can become journalists nowadays. You don't even have to have a degree anymore. You could just once you follow a certain ideology and you have certain beliefs, and that magazine likes what you say, or that online rag or whatever you want to call it likes what you have to say, then they throw you on as a reporter, and you're not even a journalist, and you're not even a proper journalist. There's too many of these people that are being called journalists that actually aren't journalists. So yeah. Now back to this Whittaker, David Tennant. So basically, what's happened is they've gotten David Tennant decorations, and they've basically, stuck on a Jodie Whittaker coat on it and repainted them, recast and repainted them. I've actually put the video up. Look, it is so obvious, so obvious that it's David Tennant's face. So the question I'm asking you guys out there as well is, do you think that these merchandise companies are doing this because the merchandise isn't selling and they're trying to basically save money? It's quite shocking and funny at the same time, I have to admit, but it is shocking and it's sad, because it does actually show, it doesn't matter what the other side say. There's lots of things not happening. They can forget about ratings now, right? You just have to go and look at the merchandise. The merchandise is a big tell. It's the same with Star Wars, with the Super 8 fans. They'll say that those movies are successful. Fine, but go out and have a look at the merchandise sales for the new movies, right? They're not selling. They're not selling, right? And there's channels out there. There's channels out there that, what you call it, that actually have exposed this, you know? I even get sent video, right? I get sent video. I get sent photographs of people all over the world. America, in the UK, show me pictures of shelves with loads of the 13 Doctor merchandise not selling, going to the classic side and showing it flying off the shelf. There just isn't any sales going on. It's ridiculous. So I mean, it's really it's really sad though. I know I'm kind of laughing because I'm laughing because we seen this coming and nobody believed us. And it's not. And see, here's the thing: you'll get people supporting Jodie Whittaker. It's like you get people supporting Super Ray, right? But here is the thing: they don't go out. All these other channels that have been saying it for months, and actually have been saying it for the last couple of years, have saying that these fans actually don't actually go out and buy the merchandise though, right? They're only there because basically certain characters in the franchises are pushing their agenda, so they'll follow those characters. Like, because you do hear the way they go on when their characters are not politically correct enough for them, when they're not the way they want them to be, they come out and complain all the time. That's the point. They're not fans. They won't go out and buy the merchandise. They don't give a crap. They just give a crap about their own ideology and their own beliefs being pushed forward, right? Because everything now has become a platform. Every show, every movie, it's used as a platform to push ideology, and the stories are being pushed in the foreground. That's why, background, I should say. That's why, Star Wars has suffered. That's why when you look at the Rise of Skywalker's final trailer, it is disjointed. It's a CGI mess. They've actually got no story there. And I got the photographs. I've seen the leaked photographs I have. It's an absolute joke. Disney have become an absolute joke. They have absolutely royally screwed up Star Wars, right? Chris Chibnall has royally screwed up Doctor Who, right? It's. I'm sorry, but we're just getting to a stage now where it's telling, it's shown now, and nobody can deny that there is a decline in merchandise for both Star Wars and Doctor Who merchandise. It's happening. I see proof of it every day on Twitter as well. People taking photographs, video footage, the whole lot. They're going into these stores. They're asking these people that own these stores what's happening with the merchandise. There's absolutely no 13 Doctor merchandise in Dublin that I could find. Now, if someone could prove me wrong on that one, great, and I'll go to the shop and see how well it's selling, but I can't find any 13 Doctor merchandise in Dublin. It's sad. It's sad. They took Chris Chibnall's gamble and it hasn't paid off, and it's sad. And it's pathetic then because we've had the leaks lately. We've seen it. We've been saying it on this channel for months about the Daleks coming back, and then we see leaked footage. It's just, I don't know. I just don't know what to say anymore, guys. It's just like with that bleeding cool article doing me head in. I mean, how dare it's just the current climate, isn't it? But look, as I've said, go and show your support for Pertwee. I mean, nobody's asking anybody to do anything other than go into the comments and give your favorite memory of John Pertwee on that video. Just show people out there that he's he still loved that this doesn't make a difference. It happened years ago. See, this is the thing. Everybody's gone crazy. Don't be using your ideology today to judge everything that happened back then, because that's unfair. It was a different time. You need to get that through your thick skulls. It was a different time. People like that idiot that did that article, they don't understand that. They really don't. You can't be doing that. And then they even try to do it with shows. Like, they get 80 shows and then they try to put today's ideology in instead of putting 80s ideology in. They mightn't like certain things, but they have to put it in to be true to the fucking thing that they're actually portraying. That's the point. Everything, even actors and actresses, they've become political pieces. They've become propaganda pieces. They don't get hired because of their acting ability anymore. They get hired because of their ideology and their beliefs. Look, we've been saying the same thing over and over again, but we have to keep saying the same thing over and over again, because Hollywood and all these other people need to start listening, because there's only so much money that you can make. And look, you can try hide the numbers all you want, right? People know that you are losing money, right? Doctor Who is losing money. Merchandise, it's losing money, right? You cannot sustain that for too long. There's only so much that you can do before you have to actually admit defeat. It's ridiculous. Right. Anybody that wants to ring in, because it's during the day, send me a message on Messenger, the usual, please, if you don't mind. Hello, Extra Spice Mikey. Stephen Cassidy has also joined the chat, the last Time Lord also. Welcome, guys. Nice to have you all on board. Blue Bonahoovian is here as well, and Paul. Welcome, Paul. Joyous Monkey is here as well, and 10k subscribers with no video. Welcome as well. You want to be in my game. Super John is here. Hey, Super John. Nice to have you here, mate. Nice to have you here. And Ryan Morris is here. Welcome, mate. I hope you're feeling a little bit better there. It's not nice when someone's sick. Hi Desert 004 is here as well. Welcome, mate. And Yvette is here. I just wanted to go up through and see if there's anybody I missed, because you know, on this channel we like to give you all a little bit of a shout out. You know, make you feel part of the community. Well, I don't see anybody wanting to ring in. Nobody's texted me. That's I could just keep talking anyway.
I talk about myself on the video.
What?
I will talk about myself on the video.
Okay, well, come on then.
So,
Right, well, we've got our first first time caller, but not really a caller, if you know what I mean.
do you want me to do the ring?
No, we could pretend to do the ring. Ring.
Hello.
Ring.
Hello.
Hello, welcome to that. Right, so obviously you've.
Hi everybody.
Right, so you've heard me.
Yeah.
So Bleeding Cool. Let's start off with Bleeding Cool first. What do you think personally
about this advert?
Yeah, about the advert and obviously the article that this idiot wrote.
Okay. Well, I've heard you rant about it a lot. Here, can you hold puppy?
Yeah.
And if I understand everything from what I've heard and the little bit I've seen and all of that this video was done years after he was finished with Doctor Who, late 70s, correct? maybe early 80s, late
I think
70s.
so, yeah, something like that, yeah.
And my understanding of it is that, well, let me just kind of recap, make sure I'm right before I start laughing, is that an article came out where they're like, holy crap, did you see this video where John Pertwee says a super offensive thing, this is terrible, we should ban all of his Doctor Who stuff, shame on him, correct?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
kind of that, yeah.
Nutshell, yeah.
Yeah.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, go ahead.
So then the next part of it is because of that time era, and I don't know if it was the same way here because I can only speak for the other side of the pond, was back in the 70s and 80s, blooper shows were the thing. They used to put them on specials like once every couple of months, and you could tell, like, sometimes the actors would get like a talking to by the directors or whatever for breaking, which, you know, superficial is the industry term for laughing when you're not supposed to, or messing up your lines or stuff like that. And current shows even do that sometimes. They show a blooper at the end. So my understanding of it was that this was just like a blooper outtake that probably maybe, for all we know, Pertwee flubbed a line or she flubbed a line, and he was just like, you know, this will be a funny thing to say. Now, I'm not saying, yes, you should go up to people and say, show me your boobs. And I know he used a different word. But back in that time frame, people were a lot less offended by things and more jokey about things. And they were still coming off of like a sexual revolution, and people were, stop making fun of me moving my body when I talk. Part of the sexual revolution and being like, oh yeah, we'll talk about stuff. Charlie's Angels, none of them were bras. Like Nipplegate became a thing in, I don't know, the 2000s, because they're like, anytime you watch the Angels, you could see that they weren't wearing a bra. But back then, you weren't having women flood, I want to say CBS stuff, with, you know, things of like, it's so offensive. Please make Kate Jackson wear a bra. I shouldn't have to see her nipples or anything like that. It's just, it's a time change. The biggest problem I'm finding with a lot of the outraged people today, in my opinion, is that we're looking at things that happened in a different time period using today's standards. It's like, I saw this post on a lot of my, I'm gonna be so geeky now, my mom's friends posts and stuff, kind of like as a reminder. And they're like, you cannot raise your kids with the same thought your parents raised you, because we're living in a different time. You know, I am a child of the 70s and 80s, and the 80s was all my jam and stuff. But when you think about it, everything that has passed over that time is just mind-blowing. When you watch those shows like Flashback to the 70s, Flashback to the 80s or whatever, they'll show you like the decade in a flashback thing, and you're like, holy crap, has it only been 30 years since we got this or whatever? I mean, back when I was a kid, you didn't put a helmet on when you ride a bike. You rode a bike. And if your head got smashed wide open because you hit a car, which happened to a friend of mine, your head got smashed open because you were in a car. We rode in the back of pickup trucks and stuff. I'm not in any way saying, yes, people, you should go have your kids ride in the back of pickup trucks now. It's unsafe. Obviously, your children should be in car seats. But that's because we have information now that we didn't have back then. So what we can do going forward is we can try to be better people and not repeat the same things that, looking back, we're like, probably not a good idea. Everybody, 2020's hindsight is 2020 for everyone. When you look back, you can't tell me, anyone who says otherwise, I'm going to call it, bullshit right now, sorry, that you have looked back at your life and said, wow, remember that one time I said this or did this? If I had it to do all over again, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't. And I think that's where this moral outrage is getting so ridiculous, because so much of what's happening is like we're digging things up that people did or said so long ago, where it's not necessarily that it's right, but they know better now. If John Pertwee was still alive, and yes, he'd be super old, but let's just go with that. So he's zombie John Pertwee or whatever. He wouldn't be making a commercial today and saying something like that in a blooper reel, because he knows it would just not be something that would be culturally or socially acceptable today.
Exactly.
But to go back and judge something from the 70s using almost 2020 standards is just ridiculous. It's like having a fight over people using the Dewey Decimal System to catalog books. It's a stupid, annoying way of doing it. I hated having to look books up that way in school. But the thing is yes, now I don't have to do that. I can just go on Amazon and click a book. I can go to the library. But it doesn't mean the Dewey Decimal System was Satan.
Right. Paul says,
I'll read now.
Yeah, Paul says, hashtag booby lives matter. Right.
Well, it is still October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So maybe that's why they brought it out. Maybe he was just genuinely concerned that she was going to need a mammogram. Obviously, I'm being ridiculous and trying to put a lighthearted spin on something that, no, it's not okay now. You don't go up to somebody and say, show me your boobs. You just don't. It's tacky. I wouldn't go up to someone and do this. But I was telling Noel earlier that I was reading an article, and he reads way different articles than I do most of the time. But I was saying how Helen Mirren posted something. And by the way, Paul, back me up on this. When you're from the East Coast, you can just talk and breathe at the same time. You don't have to stop for air or anything. So sorry, I'm just going. But Helen Mirren was on a flight, and she saw Jason Momoa. And she did the sneaky selfie of him and admitted it, saying, she's super fangirled over him and all this stuff because he's so gorgeous, blah, 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 blah. And I said to Noel, wouldn't it be something that would flip the world out is if an older male person, her peer, said, hey, I saw, Jennifer Lawrence on a plane, and she's so hot, and I fanboyed so hard of her, and I snuck a picture of her when she didn't know. People would be morally outraged by saying, oh my gosh, you skeezy perv. Why would you do something so gross? You had no right to violate her personal freedoms by taking a picture of her without her permission. Why would you do that? That's creepy. But when Helen Mirren does it about Jason Momoa, it's okay. It's the same thing when I hear girls that I'm friends with on Facebook that post these memes saying, yeah, I'll just keep going, that's fine. Posting these memes that say, you should be ashamed of yourself as a man if you're thinking, pictures like this are okay. And they'll show women lined up like in a very skimpy bikini and saying how it's sexually oppressive and that it's disrespectful to women and everything. Yet these same girls will post pictures of a shirtless Jason Momoa or anyone else. I know that there's fans of Supernatural, which I don't watch, but apparently there's hunky guys in that. I personally have a thing for Shamar Moore, who's on SWAT and used to be on Criminal Minds. I'm not ashamed of it. I think he's a very attractive person, but I'm not posting videos of girls saying, you can't do you can't do this because it's a girl, but it's okay for me to do it for a boy. And I think that's the gist of the whole thing. But when you ask me to fill, I'll just go.
Well, I was going to add something though. Do you know what?
What did I leave?
The guy's article, right? I would have had a little bit more respect for the little twat if you had actually brought up what women were doing. And Diet Coke, especially the Diet Coke, Coca-Cola, right? So during the 90s, Diet Coke had a series of ads. And it showed a half-naked man. He was obviously wearing a pair of jeans. Construction workers and stuff like that. Now, they did a parody of it a few years later with a fat guy because they thought they were being funny, but they were actually weren't. But here's the thing, right? It was basically a bunch of women in an office basically ogling over this guy with muscles and everything, and he's drinking the Diet Coke. They had another one then where he's mowing the grass and stuff like that, and all these women are getting hot under the collar, right? If that was to happen, see, there's a double standard here, and that's what I think it is. There's a double standard. Men are being called out on stuff that they do, but why aren't companies and women that do stuff like this, as Cheryl said, why don't they get called out? Because there's a double standard. They won't call women out because all this equality stuff is a load of bull. It's not about equality. There's one rule for them, one rule for us. And that's the way it's going to always be unless people have the courage to address the double standard that goes on. And I've seen posts of Aquaman, Jason Momoa, right, in groups where women are basically getting hot under the collar over it. But if we were a bunch of men in a group, and as Cheryl said, we had Jennifer Lawrence in, say, a bikini or something, right? We'd be all perverts and yeah, look at you are all dirty little, you know what I mean? That's the point. It needs to be, there is a double standard out there, and it needs to be addressed, but they'll never address it. They'll never address it. So, I mean, when they talk about equality, what they really mean is that us men are going to be subjugated, and women are basically just, they want women to have all the power. Well, do you know what? No fucking way, right? It's equal society or it's nothing at all. It's as simple as that. You just can't have it your way all the time. I mean, I don't know why men like me and the younger generation especially are getting punished for crimes that men did, or the way we behaved, or the way society allowed men to behave decades ago. It's changed now. There's still a lot to be done. I'm not going to deny that, because we'll all admit there is still a lot to be done. But women cannot say that they're not in a better place now than they were, what, how many years ago even? Since the, 30, 40 years ago?
Not even that.
Not even that. Not even that. I'll give you a little fact.
The world keeps evolving.
Yeah, in 1995, right, the last Magdalen laundry closed in Ireland. Now, for anybody that doesn't know what they are, these were laundries that the Catholic Church had and would put unmarried mothers in, or women that they considered were basically sleeping around and stuff like that. No such thing, right? No such thing. Some of these women were raped, and they were the ones that were taken away. The people that were involved, they were raped by their own cousins and stuff like that. If anybody hasn't watched the Magdalen Laundries, the Magdalen Sisters movie, now I will say one thing right now. If you are very sensitive, this movie is not for you. Seriously. This movie is about 3 women. It chronicles 3 women's stories, if I'm correct. I think it is 3 women. Hold on, 1, 2, 3. I think it's 3 women or 4 women's stories, right, in this laundry. And you should see the abuse that they got, right? Now, that country, this is my country. We closed down that last laundry in 1995, I think, right? Okay, so that even back then, a lot has changed since 1995 in Ireland, I can tell you, right? Women in this country, you know, have gained, and rightly so. But there's still a lot more to do. There is still that equality out there, and it still needs to be addressed. But there has to be a balance. You know, if you're going to address all the misogyny that you think is out there, well, then why don't you address all the stuff that women do as well? You have to have a fair and equal society. If that's the way you're going to go about it, then you have to analyze both. It's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. And I think Renee said she wants to come on. Hold on, though. I've got a message off someone.
Wouldn't this be Renee's first time?
I think so, yeah.
Teddy, you're breaking that.
Right. We'll bring Renee on. I think Renee is a first time caller, actually. Do us a favor, 22 people watching at the moment. If you've liked everything that I've had to say so far, please give the video a like. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell, because YouTube is being funny with those things. They have sent notifications to the bigger YouTube channels. They are going to be deleting fake accounts. On one hand, yes, it's a good idea, but the thing about it is, I don't think YouTube will just delete fake accounts. They'll delete other accounts that have just been set up to subscribe to YouTubers like me and others. They don't like putting content up. They've only joined YouTube just to subscribe to their favorite YouTuber. So, as I said, a little way of getting around that I came up with a little thing last night. If you put up little 5-second videos or something and get people to subscribe to your channel that's in the live chat here, just to show that your channel is active, and then that way then you can keep your account and you can continue to stay subscribed to me and your other favorite YouTubers out there. You know, we have to think, you always have to think outside the box. Do you know what I mean? What else is there? Oh, Rocket Runner is here. Hey, Rocket Runner. Nice to have you here, mate. Nice to have you here. Woo. Here, Rocket Runner, I wanted to ask you something. So how do you feel about those people out there that are identifying as furries? I've seen a video today of a grown-ass woman in her 40s or something coming out in a fox suit, coming out to her parents as a furry.
Oh, the furries.
Yeah, and people saying it was beautiful and stuff. I actually find it quite highly disturbing.
They're my favorites.
And the parents were overjoyed. I'm sorry, but have we? I just want to ask something, right? Have we all lost touch? Have we all lost their sense of reality? Seriously. Like, I just don't get it. Look, she's a grown-ass woman. Look, she's a grown-ass woman, right? If she wants to identify as a furry or a fox or whatever it is, she can do that. But to get other people to accept it or to force other people to accept it is wrong. I don't care. Be a fox in your house or something. Run around, eat whatever foxes eat. I don't give a crap. Right? But don't, it's in the world's gone crazy. And then here, there's LBGTQ plus fucking whatever it is, cereal from Kellogg's now. Oh, for God's sake, we're losing the plot. And what was that? You said as well on female sanitary products. Yeah, when you hear this, guys, right? So always,
and there's some discrepancy between what Procter and Gamble, who owns Always, came out saying. They said that they had a bunch of people from the LGBTQ plus, and I think I missed some community talking about that their hygiene products need to be for all, that not everyone who has menses is a female or a biological female or whatever. There's transgenders and somebody else, I forgot. And I'm not trying to be culturally insensitive. Sometimes my brain just flips out. But most of y'all don't know, and I don't think I ever noticed until they showed the picture of it, is in the wrapping, they have the symbol for a female, the circle with the upside down plus. Like, no big deal. But a one-person activist, I think, wrote a letter and kind of got the ball rolling. So Procter & Gamble came out and said, all right, well, to be respectful to everyone, we're going to remove the female sign from all of our packaging so that it's more inclusive. Now, keep in mind, they still have a feminine hygiene division, which kind of seems off. Like, I will be the first one. I have many friends and many friends that are LGBTQ plus, and so this is not disrespectful at all. It is hard in the moment to wrap your head around everything. So I try to learn, but I may not always get it right. So if I say something wrong, I am totally not trying to be offensive to anyone. But if you're saying that people besides women are going to need these products, with the difference between, we have these people that are non-binary, non-binary, that don't identify as either, I don't think then you would be able to keep using feminine products. And we were at Primark, Penny is here, and I actually asked Noel when we were on the escalator, my question would be, at some point, do you think they're going to remove the men's fashion and the women's fashion? Because they have men's, women's, children, whatever. And at some point, will those have to go? Because I'm all for whoever you want to be, but I need to know where to find my shoes. And I need to know where to find my tops. And I like unicorns and rainbows and glitter. And that's fine. You're male, female, whatever. You have that going on. But I just need to know where to look for it. And unless you're going to start categorizing clothes by unicorn stuff and you know, trucker hats or whatever. I don't know. It's at some point the absolute minority cannot determine the rules for the majority. That's not saying we can't be inclusive. It's just saying where does it work so that we can all fit in? Oh, that's my shut up eyeball I'm getting.
Now,
this is why I'm not allowed to talk.
No, because you like make your point. You don't have to go on the big
Hello, Kel.
But here's the thing, I will add to that, right? There's women groups out there that are fighting for women, and they are saying that they're trying to erase women from, they're trying to erase it, right? They want to get rid of all these little barriers, right? So she is right. We're going to be going into, well, we can't even say unisex anymore, right? You'll be going into these stores, right, to buy your clothes, and there will be actually no distinction between male and female. You'll be going in like a headless chicken, because there's so many gender identities, right? Right, this is the ridiculous thing about it, right? If they get what they want, there'll be a sign for clothes for non-binary, lesbian, straight, whatever, right? Because they use all different terms. Like you'll be scratching your head, like, so which category am I in? You know, this is how ridiculous it's all gonna go. But yeah, Gary, I do agree with you. How did we get from here to John Pertwee? I'm lost. So Mike, you listen, this is a bit of everything today. But if you want to ring in actually about that John Pertwee article, Gary, I'd be glad to take a call. I've got the first call coming on now anyway. I've got a couple of calls coming on actually. I've got thank you guys. There's a few guys that want to come on. So what I will do is I'm going to get Renee on first, because Renee is a first time caller. And you know what we like to do on this channel? We like to get first time callers on. Oh, and by the way, guys, I'm missing the Manchester United match for you as well, just to let you know. I don't miss a game, but the wife has the score pinned for me, so I don't miss it. Renee, if you could check your phone there, I've sent you a message just to make sure that you're ready. I don't like ringing anybody until I know they're ready, just in case you're in the middle of eating or having a cup of tea. I don't know if Americans have cups of tea. Do you drink tea?
Yeah, we just...
Not the same tea as us, though.
I don't know that she's active.
Right now, as she's here, she gave me a thumbs up. I'm going to ring you now, Renee. Right, and everybody will get a start usual 16 minutes.
Hey.
Hello, Renee. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hold on, you're very low. Could you do us a favor, Renee, and just turn down your computer?
I turned down my computer, but I can't hear you on my phone.
Oh, can you hear me now? Oh, not again. Not again. I'll tell you what, Renee, I'm going to try ring you back again, right?
Okay.
Right. Oh, can you hear me there?
No, I can't. I hear you on my computer, but I can't hear you on my phone.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, this is kind of working a little bit.
There we go. There we go.
All right.
I've never done this. Right. I had to hit a button. I'm good.
Right. Okay. We're good. Right. So, obviously, you know, we were talking about the Bleeding Cool article, and obviously the Jodie Whittaker repaint job that they've done on the merchandise. So, what actually I should have asked you first. What do you actually want to talk about? Well, boy, what would you like to actually talk about? Sorry, first time calling.
I didn't know anything about the video. After your live, I'm gonna go and see if I can find the video. I love John Pertwee. He's one of my faves.
Yeah.
And it bothers me that, you know, people are trying to diss people that, I mean, the dude's dead and he was an awesome doctor. What the heck? Leave him alone.
I know, they just seem to have a problem. I've noticed lately, but here, this has been happening for the last couple of months. There's been little articles coming out kind of having a dig at the classic era. But now they're blatantly doing it. They don't care now, because as far as I'm concerned, I think they're panicking. They know that it's over, and now they're lashing out. But it is sad. I mean, he done it. What was it? 20. He's dead 23 years, right? He done it 30 years ago, apparently, right? He done this 30 years ago, and this guy decided because his conscience wouldn't allow him not to post it. Because you even read when I read the start of the article, I wasn't sure whether I was going to post this or not. Of course, you were going to post it because you want to further your agenda. But he roped Jodie Whittaker into the article, Renee, right? And this is what I was saying. This is why they've done this, because they're trying to justify a female doctor.
Well, they can't. I mean, there is no justification to it. But what's done is done. Okay, she's there, fine. Just let her be gone.
Yeah. Are you looking forward to it? Because now that I have you here, are you looking forward to Series 12 at all?
I'm looking forward to Series 12 being over. But I will watch it because I love Doctor Who. I mean, I love the show.
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones, I'm older than you, much older than you. So I know back in the day, I was alive when Doctor Who started, okay? I never watched it. I never even knew about it. I started watching Doctor Who, I don't know, probably 10 years after New Who started, because my family knows that I love sci-fi, and they knew I'd like it. They pestered me, so I started watching it. And I love it. So then I went back and watched the classics. And when I started them, I have to admit, they were kind of hard to get through because they're different. They're not as fast and flashy as the stuff now. But after I watched them a couple times, I like them better than the New Who. And that's horrible.
Yeah. How have you got a favorite episode of Series 11?
No. I didn't like any of them. I mean, I really didn't. I had an argument with my I guess she's my sister-in-law, when they even said that Jodie was gonna be the doctor. I was like, oh, what a horrible idea. And she said, no, it's wonderful. She's one of those J-bots. And she loves it. I'm lost. I don't, Jodie never made you think, yeah, she's finally got it. She just never did. She just doesn't have it. She's not the doctor. I'm sorry.
Right. Well, here we won't focus totally on Jodie Whittaker. We'll talk about Chris Chibnall's writing. So, where would you rate him as a showrunner? What would you give him out of 10 as showrunner so far? And is there any of these episodes that he did before he took over as showrunner in Doctor Who that you actually liked, or you didn't like any of them? A lot of people I've been speaking to haven't liked these Doctor Who episodes even before he took over the show. So I'd like to know how you feel on that one.
I'm not impressed with his writing at all. I mean, it's possible that Jodie would be a better doctor if she had a better writer. I don't know. Even though I don't think she's much of an actress, because I went back and watched other things that she's played in. But, it couldn't hurt if she had better writing.
Yeah, I agree. I think Chris Chibnall has sold. I will say that, and I have said that in the past. I think Chris Chibnall has sold her short, because his writing and the group of writers that he has gotten are way over their heads.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Is there there's no episode in Series 11 that you thought, that felt like Doctor Who? A lot of people would say Kerblam was their episode. Some others will say, or I've heard some people say Arachnids in the UK was more like a Doctor Who episode. Was there any episode in that series that you said, yeah, that's the closest we've gotten to a Doctor Who episode in this new era?
You know what? I can't even answer that because I've only watched them once. I just struggled through it one time. Right. So none of them hit me like, oh yeah, I could handle watching that one again. No.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot. It sounds like what Daniel does say a lot on this channel. It sounds like this series or this era especially has killed your passion for Doctor Who. It sounds like by listening to you now talking, you find I can hear that you're struggling to say anything positive. And you know, when was the last? I mean, I've never heard. I've heard fans back in the day be disappointed, but this is different. This is like everybody's passion. Has it killed your passion? Because it sounds like it has.
It has for her being the Doctor. I'm hoping it doesn't get canceled. I mean, you know, if we can get somebody else in there that does the Doctor and takes it over, and you can tell, you know, they are the Doctor, then it'll be great again. But with her, it's history.
Yeah.
You know, I just want her to be gone.
Tell me, who would your choice be for the 14th Doctor?
I have no idea. I don't even have, you know, that one guy, I don't know his name, but the one guy that you said you talked about him, I don't think he'll do it, but I do think that he would make a good Doctor.
Michael Shane.
Yes, that's him. Yes. I looked him up because I didn't even know who he was. But once I looked him up, I thought, yeah, he would do it. He'd do it well, but I'm not sure that he'll take it.
Actually, it's quite interesting that we talk about him, because I've actually ran a poll. It's on its last couple of hours now, and Michael Shane is actually winning that poll. I've actually posed the question on Twitter. Who would you like to replace Jodie Whittaker? And Michael Shane is topping the poll right now. And Michael Shane does seem to be fans' choices. I've seen that a lot on Twitter. I don't be on Facebook as much as I used to be, but I still go on it. It's the same on Facebook, what I've seen as well. Michael Shane seems to be keen to do it. I think he'd be a great choice, but the stumbling block for some people. Actually, I wanted to ask you this as well, and I'll ask people in the live comments as well. There seems to be this thing with age now, right? There's a little ageism kind of creeped in, because people are kind of saying that maybe Michael Sheen in 50 years of age is too old to play the Doctor. Now, I will add that the two most successful Doctors in the New Who era have been David Tennant and Matt Smith, and there is no denying that they have been the younger ones out of the older ones. So, do they have a point, or to you, does it make a difference who the actor is once they're a good caliber and they can actually act and they understand the role? Is that all that matters to you, or do you think age does matter in today's fandom?
Personally, I really don't care about the age. I wasn't thrilled with Peter Capaldi at the beginning, and I don't know that it was his age or just the way they had him act. But then I really liked him, so I don't think that age has anything to do with it. Look at William Hartnell. I mean, he wasn't a young man, and he started the whole thing.
Exactly, yeah. And then the Patrick Troughton, Pertwee, you know,
And Capaldi, I mean, equally.
Yeah, I know. Like fans like us like them all. You know, I love Peter Capaldi, and I do love Matt Smith. Now, I'm not the greatest fan of David Tennant, but I do like his Doctor. I don't love his Doctor as much as the rest of them. But for me personally, I agree, age shouldn't make a difference. But unfortunately, as Blue Bonnet Hoovian said, this is an ageist society, and I'd have to agree with that. And that's another thing that needs to be addressed, because a lot of the people that come out against Peter Capaldi, they attack his age.
You know, and how can they do that when you can't say anything anymore? If you say anything, people get offended. But you can talk bad about somebody's age? Come on. Yeah. You can't have it both ways.
I know. It's actually ridiculous, to be honest with you. Michael Sheen, personally, I would like him to take over, but, you know, I don't know. He's still in the frame, but whether they'll go with that choice or not, because this era has been such a mess, maybe it's not a bad idea to go with a younger Doctor. I know it goes against everything that I've just said now, but if it's to save the show, you know, and if they think that a younger doctor is going to do that once he's written properly, like Matt Smith was, I would have no problem with that. But just because you do that doesn't mean that you rule out older actors ever, because then you're setting a bad precedent. You're basically saying, well, if you're a certain age, you can't do this. And Doctor Who has always been inclusive, and this is the thing that annoys me about these J-bots. They say Doctor Who is not inclusive. I even had another one give out about the companions, like saying they're not, you know what I mean? It's all propaganda bullshit. Doctor Who has always been inclusive, these idiots. Look behind the scenes all the way through the history of the show. I don't know where to get this stuff from.
Because they're not watching the show. You know, Michael Sheen would be the thing that Michael Sheen has is he's already known. So if he gets good writing, he might help this show because he's already a known person.
Yeah.
Matt Smith wasn't a known person. I mean, he wasn't in the US. I don't know if he was anywhere else, you know, and I don't think David Tennant was that well known either. Yeah, so they have been putting people in that aren't that well known. But since we're so bad off right now, maybe it would give it a boost if they, you know, had the doctor be somebody that's well known. I don't know.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, as I have said and stated on this channel, it doesn't matter who you get though, because at the end of the day, if the writing and the person that you get the show run isn't the right fit and doesn't know what they're doing, you could have Oscar winners in that role and it wouldn't make a difference. It would still fail because it's the writing over the last couple of years, even under Moffat, and all Doctor Who fans will acknowledge that the writing hasn't been great the last few years, but this has gone to a new level completely. It's a new level completely. This show is unrecognizable to the show it was even 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. It's completely gone, completely changed, and now he's backtracking because we've seen. Actually, I wanted to ask you because we've got a few more minutes to go. I don't know if you've seen the leaked footage of the new Dalek,
the Daleks,
and the photographs of the new Dalek. Have you any thoughts on the new Dalek or the footage?
Not really impressed.
Yeah. Again, they leaked the footage, and we already know that Dalek is going to be annihilated. It's absolutely ridiculous. But here, the thing about it is, right, I'll say this, and I want to ask you this. So Chris Chibnall's been trying to keep all this a secret, right? And there's been leak after leak after leak. They stepped up security, and then this would be considered a major leak, right? This is a major plot line that's happening right there that they've leaked, right? Just nobody's put it together yet, right? But that's major, right? I reckon right now Chris Chibnall's probably crying into his bowl of cornflakes with soy milk right now. Seriously, he is absolutely good. But you know what? As I said last night, and I'll say something, he deserves everything that he's getting now because he didn't let the fans say what they wanted to say and take the criticism on board, right? He's basically tried to say that he doesn't read the reviews to kind of dismiss fans, but as we have learned on this channel, that's bullshit. Everybody reads the reviews of what's being said about their show, right? He's deliberately sidestepped the fans, hasn't turned up at the Comic Cons because he doesn't want to face the backlash. Do you want to come up here again? Is that what it is? Teddy
That's very true. I mean, he doesn't want to listen to us because he's been cruddy. I mean, he would be attacked.
Yeah, he'd be booed. He'd be booed off the stage. He has royally messed up. But now he's trying to course correct, right? Because we've got the Jadoon, we've got the Cybermen, we've got the Daleks confirmed, right? There's still more to come, believe it or not, guys, right? And there's also another huge announcement to be made as well, right? So
but you still have the same doctor, so it really doesn't matter.
So that's what I mean. He's going in for overkill now, right? So this is overkill. This is overkill by Chris Chibnall right now, right? And he thinks by bringing all these old villains back that it's going to be somehow a success, or it's going to bring us back.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
Good
If
luck.
if the writing's decent, as I said, if the writing's decent, yeah, of course you'll win fan, but of course you will. But they still will never accept a female Doctor. And I know people out there will say, well, she's canon. That's fair enough. But Doctor Who canon has been ignored before because they ignored canon to make this possible. So why can't we ignore canon again?
Well, I won't buy her stuff. I won't buy her seasons. I have all of New Who, all of them, except for her seasons. I will not buy them because I will not watch them, and I don't want to give them money for junk.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with everything you've said. I mean, look, as I said now, even YouTube channels out there are saying that there's gonna be more information. There has to be, because this is a major leak now, and normally what happens is that the floodgates open. Listen, Renee, we've actually run out of time, and I want to thank you for coming on. Sorry about Ted in the background. For some weird reason, see, it's coming up to Halloween, and the fireworks are going, so he's on edge. So when I elevate my voice a little bit, he gets very tetchy.
He gets all excited.
Yeah. But listen, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And as I do say to everybody that calls in, you're more than welcome to call in again. All right?
All right. Thank you, Neil.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.
See you. Bye. Now, hold on. This is how we do it. That was Renee. Great first time call from Renee. I mean, we're it's just not looking good. Is there any score in that game, by the way?
No.
Of course there's not, because we're not capable of scoring a goal. Right, let's get the next caller on. Yeah, I thank you guys. I've got you as our messages. I'll bring you two guys on too. I'm gonna bring on, hold on though, we mix it up a bit because we're early, so I know nobody needs to go to bed yet. Hello, Dane. Nice to have you here, mate. Nice for joining us. Thank you. And Charlotte is here as well. Welcome. Nice to have you all here. And thanks for actually joining me. I know I don't normally do a stream on a Thursday, but because obviously that article, look, it wasn't just enough for me to do a video and for you to comment in the video section. I actually wanted to hear what you have to say, because I'm being honest with you, it annoys me. It just really actually annoys me. Why? It's just attack after attack on a show that I've grown up and loved since a kid. And I mean, I was watching Pertwee last night, even before seeing this bleeding cool article. And you know what? I was determined. I stayed up even this morning, because some people were saying, geez, you only going to bed now? Because I literally went to bed at 8 o'clock. And do you know why I went to bed at 8 o'clock this morning? Because I was up all night watching Pertwee's Doctor Who, right? So this guy thought by doing this article that he was going to dissuade me from watching Pertwee's era. Well, he's actually made me more determined to watch it and actually get people to watch it. You know what I mean? So it's kind of backfired. And the amount of support that Pertwee has gotten, and the guy is dead, right? But the amount of people that have stuck up for him is unbelievable. You know, I love this fandom sometimes because the real fandom comes to the fore. And when someone like John Pertwee or a character that they've grown up and love gets attacked, they come out in force. And I love it. Right, I'm gonna bring on my next guest, and we're gonna talk about this bleeding cool. And also, actually, I forgot to ask Renee while she was on, what did you think of the fact that the BBC basically, the merchandise company basically used the David Tennant statue, basically put on a Jodie Whittaker coat and repainted it to look like Jodie. It's not even her TARDIS either. I think it's Matt Smith's TARDIS. Matt Smith had the St. John ambulance one on it, didn't he?
Yes.
David Tennant didn't.
Yeah.
No. So it's Matt Smith's TARDIS and a David Tennant decoration that they've changed into Jodie Whittaker because they're not selling. Right, gonna bring on my next guest. Oh, I've got a few more to come on as well. So we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good.
Can you hear me, Noel?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you just fine.
Right. Okay, the floor is yours, mate. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, so we basically have to kind of mirror a few things that have already been said. Actually, Cheryl said it brilliantly. You have to look at the 70s and the 80s for the times that they were. Okay, because I don't know if any of you are fans of black and white movies. I am. So you can go back to watch old movies from the 30s and the 40s. It was nothing for the quote unquote hysterical woman. A man would just slap her on the face to calm her down. Now, I'm not promoting that. What I'm saying is you have to understand that was the world that was lived in back then. All right. Women were told to smoke cigarettes to calm your nerves. Again, that was the world that was lived in back then. People literally stuffed money under their mattresses or buried it out in the backyards during the Great Depression back in America. That was the world that was lived in back then. All right. So one or two off the cuff comments by John Pertwee. It's disgusting. The man is dead. Now, I don't necessarily subscribe to the theory of, it's ill will to talk bad about the dead because, listen, the person is dead. They don't care. They don't mind. But the point that I'm trying to make here is you're now trying to talk bad about the man's character and talk bad about the man's history when we have his entire lifetime of nothing but good character and a good history. So what is it exactly that you're trying to do? You're trying to what? Create views for yourself. You're trying to be a nasty and an antagonistic person to in some way garner some type of support or following or justification for what you are doing. So it has nothing to do with John Pertwee. It has everything to do with the person and individuals who created that article. And it is total bullshit. All right. It's as if, let's say for argument's sake, a person 20 years ago, they slapped their kid or they beat their kids. All right. That's wrong. I totally disagree with that. But let's say now it's 20 years later, it's 25 years later, they make a thoroughly deep and profound statement about whatever topic. The fact that they hit their kid 25 years ago, does that in some way take away from the relevance of their current statement? So it's total bullshit, right? That's my position. It is total BS. It is total garbage. I looked at it. I read this article. I looked at the video. It is total garbage. All right. I don't see where John Pertwee did or said anything wrong. And I don't see where this person is trying to do anything other than garner themselves support and recognition or views and acknowledgement for their current work. But by doing so, they just want to take the most polarizing, most offensive stance possible. It goes back to that old thing in Hollywood. There's no such thing as bad press. It's all in how you spin it. As long as people are talking about you, you are relevant. And this person is trying to garner relevance. It's BS.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I was reading the article, I was like, mate, you're projecting your own stupid ideology and beliefs on. You cannot But here's the thing, I do agree with you. It was like 30 years ago. And as Cheryl has rightly said, and I've said this myself at different times, you know, we've came a long way since then. And I mean, this was a bloopers thing, wasn't it? This wasn't even put on TV. Like, so what is this? The guy's motivation is basically to try justify. Well, the article says it all. He's trying to say because he wants there should be female doctors from now on. He's made it quite clear. You know, you want to stop drinking all that soy milk that you're drinking, shriveling your balls, mate. You're actually an embarrassment to our gender. All you guys that do articles like this are an embarrassment to our gender. You need to stop. You need to stop. It was a different time. Cop onto yourselves.
I'm honestly surprised that there hasn't been more outrage by people who've demanded for the Airplane movie to be pulled from every film vault in the world because of all the things that were just so typical for that time. It was a parody of all of those types of movies and everything that was culturally relevant. Would it fly today? No, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
You know what? Cheryl brings up an amazing point because I was very young when the first one came out, and I remember when the second one came out, the Airplane movies. So were black people offended by the quote unquote Jive Brothers jive talk? Were the Catholics offended by the freaking the alcoholic priest and the mean cussing nun? You know, I mean, were Asian people offended by the Asian stereotypes? You know, it was a movie, it was a parody, and if we can't laugh at ourselves, then what the hell are we doing? Right? You know, it's like the entire world wants to go back to the 1600s when America was freaking Puritans and burning witches at the stake. I mean, enough already. This whole damn world has went and gone soft.
Yeah, but we're wasting their time. We're wasting their time on things that happened years ago instead of actually focusing on the problems of today, the real problems of today. See, this is all tactically done. This guy that wrote this article, I wouldn't even call him a journalist. This guy, they Bleeding Cool are probably one of those online magazines that went around and looked for people that they thought, oh, I like what they're saying. Yeah, we'll get him, right? And they picked that gobshite, right? Because he fits in with their ideology. This is a blatant attack, right? And he has really boiled my... this is why I had to go live. Because at the end of the day, this guy has brought joy to millions of people. So what if he picked up a paycheck? So what if he did an ad and he said that line, right? It was probably a blooper. It doesn't matter even if it wasn't a blooper. It was the times we lived in. Things have changed. As bloody nuts. They're all nutcases. He's an embarrassment to our gender. I'd love to actually talk to him face to face, man, and say, here, what was I thinking behind the article? I want to pick your brain. And then he'd say all these shit that he's saying, say, are you sure you've got a brain in there, mate? Seriously, full of sawdust.
You know what? Have you seen Dave Chappelle's most recent skit, Sticks and Stones, on Netflix?
I've watched clips of it. I haven't watched it all, I'm going to be honest, but I have seen clips of it, yes. I have shouted out this Sticks and Stones Netflix show. He pokes fun at everything, but even he's being under attack. I've seen some of the clips. I haven't watched it all. We have Netflix there. That's something that we actually have to watch. I know the reason why we won't watch. You don't like Dave Chappelle, don't you?
Find him funny.
She doesn't find him funny, whereas I do.
Really? I just don't find him funny.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, Cheryl doesn't think he's funny.
Well, except Rick James. That's funny.
Right, yeah. So
Dave Chappelle is hysterical. Oh my God.
I know, don't mind that. She doesn't know a good comedian if he was standing right out.
Murphy's come out now and apologized for Raw.
Yeah, well, Eddie Murphy is a tick because Raw is one of his greatest second stand-up bleeding shows, and he's come out and apologized. Well, do you know what? Do you know what he should do, right? With the rest of them that
know why?
What?
You know why? You know, in my opinion, the reason why he's apologizing for Raw is because he went after gay people. He attacked gay people hard. He has some amazing skits in there. And you know what? If we can't laugh at ourselves, if we can't laugh at each other, then what the hell are we doing? Because when you can't laugh at, when we can't laugh at ourselves, society devolves into a socialist or autocratic authoritarianism state. And who the hell wants to live like that? All right.
Yeah.
So you know what? Listen, I understand if Cheryl doesn't like Dave Chappelle, fair enough. We all like who we like. But for me personally, you know, I I put Dave Chappelle in the same space with George Carlin. That their comedy, that they were social critics as much as anything else. And for Eddie Murphy to come out and apologize for Raw, listen, I am in no way a Kevin Hart fan. To me, he's not funny. I don't find him to be funny at all. In fact, I find Kevin Hart to be an absolute offensive clown and an idiot. But he should not have quit hosting the
Yeah, the
Academy
Oscars.
Awards,
Oh, the
the
Academy.
Oscars, because he was bowing to because certain gay people felt that what he said years ago was offensive. You know what? He should have said "F you" is how I feel. Because you know what? Some people, you know what? I won't even get off on a rant because that's a whole rabbit hole I really don't want to go down to. But everyone's this PC culture needs to stop. It needs to stop. Whatever you like is what you like. Whatever you find humorous or you find offensive, fine. But stop telling everyone how to think and how to be and how to feel. That's a bad thing. PC culture is a bad thing. There's nothing good about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I do you know, I'm going to ask you that where does this madness end, Paul? Because I mean, look, how far is this going to go before someone actually says like what we've been saying? Hang on, enough is enough. Where does it end? I don't think there's anybody out there that has the courage to come out, risk everything to just come out and say, hang on, enough is enough. Dave Chappelle has done it in a way, and he's received a backlash. The Joker movie, again, you've seen what they're trying to do there. It's lost its fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but it's going to become the most successful R-rated movie that was ever made, right? But you've heard the bad press. Where does this madness end? When does all this... I mean, when they have movies and they have comedians like that basically come out against what they think is normal now, all this shit that's happening in society. I mean, where does it end? And Cheryl wants to say something, so go on.
I was going to say, Ricky Gervais in his latest Netflix special totally addressed that too, about a tweet where someone got offended about something that was like, he was actually talking about how something happening in China was not okay, like his personal take on it. And a guy is like, this offends me because of this, and his whole rant on it, it's the whole ridiculous thing of like, wait a minute, so all this stuff happened and your one takeaway is this one teeny tiny thing that you chose to get pissed off about instead of just not listen, like just ignore it and move on. I mean, it wasn't like, that's where it is. It's almost impossible not to offend somebody with something, no matter how hard you try. And I think you wind up inadvertently being more offensive because you're so cautious of what you're saying that you wind up saying something stupid.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's censorship, though. But see, that's the thing, though. It is total and complete censorship. And we already know how that turns out. It was called the National Socialist Party. They were in power for 13 years. They started a war. We know how that turns out. Okay? You do not want that society again. Nobody wants that again.
No.
The country where it happened, they don't want it again. All right? So the bullshit needs to stop.
Yeah.
All right? But the thing is this. What I'm about to say is going to offend a lot of people. But you know what? Listen, I don't care. You know what? If you're too effing sensitive to hear what I'm about to say, you know what? As we say in New York, go fuck yourself. So here's the thing, right? I have studied this a long time, and I watched a lot of documentaries, and I've listened to a lot of actors, and I've spoken to a lot of people personally. So here's the thing. Hollywood is gay. Hollywood is mostly gay. A lot of your biggest action stars who women love are in fact gay. Now, going back to the 1920s, 30s, and 40s, Hollywood was literally about 90% gay. So if you look at the types of people the industry attracts, your set designers, your artists, hair and makeup people, lighting, studio, the writers, okay, those are all any person who knows about the theater will tell you it's almost all gay. So most of the actors were gay. So there was a huge scandal. The first was Rudolph Valentino, who women loved, the first Hollywood sex symbol. He was actually gay. So there was a huge scandal with Cary Grant. And he was forced, they gave him a forced marriage and it made him miserable for the rest of his life. Where am I going with this? Where I'm going with this is this. Hollywood is the biggest image industry on the planet. Okay. New York's Madison Avenue, the advertising capital being the second. Both are completely dominated by people who don't want you talking about and offending homosexuality. Now, don't take as what I'm saying as some personal rant. Oh, I hate gay people. No, I don't. What I'm saying is, who's driving this PC culture? So when you ask me the question of, Paulie, where and when does it end? No, my answer to you is, I don't know, because the people who control the media happen to be the most sensitive and most offensive. Okay, so people can take what I've just said however they want to take it. I have zero issue with any person being gay because who you sleep with does not define who you are as a person. Your words and your actions do. That does not define your character. But what I am saying is the people driving the PC culture happen to be the most sensitive. Okay, so take that for what it is. I don't know when and where and how this ends. I don't.
Well, brilliant points, Paul. Thanks for coming on. Jesus Christ, man, that flew. But I agree.
Forgive the rant. I'm sorry.
No. Listen. Everybody in this live chat knows.
Saying, oh, you're
no. Listen,
no, I'm not.
I know you're not.
Really
Everybody
stating the
knows.
facts.
Listen, everybody that knows you on this live chat knows exactly what you're trying to say, right? If anybody else that's watching this picks it up differently, well, then you're a plank. Right? Because he's explained himself, even though he doesn't need to explain himself. But we're living in a society today where you have to fucking explain everything that you say because someone's offended. And he's right. If you're offended about this, go and fuck yourself. Thank you, Paul, for coming on.
It's like an Irish accent, too.
What?
It works with the Irish
Yeah,
accent.
it does. Of course it does. Go fuck yourself. There you go. I wasn't saying that to you. I'm saying it to anybody that's offended by this. And he's right. Right, we all know what he's trying to say, and if you pick it up any differently out there, then that's your problem, not ours. Do you know what? I'm sick of having to watch what I say because people out there have got offended. Right, if you're that offended, I tell you what to do. All you offended people, right? Why don't you set up your own country, right? And you can call it the Great Isle of Soy or something, right? And you can all live there. Then you can all do whatever you want to do and see how long you last in our utopian society or whatever kind of society you want, right? We'll all thrive and yous will all end up stagnating because yous will all think the same, yous will all have the same ideology, yous will be like the Cybermen, right? Emotionless bunch of twats that get offended by everything. Get away, I'm sick of this, I'm sick of them all. What? Go ahead, Bob.
Can I end on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Ian McKellen, for me, is an absolute brilliant actor, and I will see anything that he is in. He's openly gay. I don't care because who he sleeps with does not define who he is as a person and has nothing to do with his craft, which is to be a brilliant actor. Okay, there are several actors. There were several actors. There were several athletes who have had scandals where there's smoke, there's fire. So I don't care. The larger, we live in a very interesting society. Society says, oh yeah, freedom and fairness and inclusion and diversity as long as you're not gay. So you have to stay a certain way. So it's all a bunch of bullshit because gay people are living hypocritical lifestyles, as are straight identifying people are also living hypocritical lifestyles, but yet we all live in this PC culture where I'm not going to say what I really think or really do. So you know what? It's all totality a bunch of bullshit. So you know what? Live your life for you the way you want to, like who and what you want to, and fuck anyone who doesn't agree with you. You know what? And all just kiss my ass.
And with that, I'm going to say to you, you can get the fuck out of here. I'm only messing. Listen, mate. Listen, mate, thanks for coming on. I'll talk to you. You're going to be on tomorrow night as well, aren't you?
Yes.
Right. But as I said, tomorrow night we can talk about anything. We don't have to restrict it to Doctor Who, because I know you like talking about movies and stuff like that. So if you want to come up with another list of movies that you want to recommend to all of us here for tomorrow night, I'd really appreciate that, because I have to say, so I've wrote down some of them that you've actually mentioned. So if you have any more tomorrow, let us know, won't you?
Yes, I will, for sure.
All right. Listen, you enjoy the rest of your evening or day or whatever it is. I don't know what time it is where you are. What time is it? Okay.
He's night now.
He's night now, is he? Okay, well, we're 7 at night here too.
8.
Right, so, okay. All right. Well, good night, Paul.
Night.
Yeah, it's actually 8 p.m. Well, 3 minutes to 8.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Right, so, oh yeah, I forgot where you are. I'm a knob. Right, go on. Talk to you later, mate. I said I'm a knob. I'm a knob. I'll see you later, man.
All right, goodbye.
Bye-bye. And that was Paul, everybody. I love having Paul on. And Paul hopefully now will have some more movies. And if you have actually, believe it or not, if anybody has actually watched any of Paul's recommendations for movies and he would like to come on sometime, I'd really appreciate I'd love to hear what you actually have to say. Just to let you know, let me see. Hold on now. I just want to make sure something first. Oh, by the way, I just want to say thank you, everybody. So, 24 hours ago, I had 579 subscribers, and over the last few hours, I've gained some subscribers. So, I'd like to thank everybody that's new to the channel and that is willing to watch me videos and see what kind of person I am, and actually come and actually listen to the debates that we have here, and actually see that we're not bad here. We've got a little community going here. We all interact with each other positively. And, you know, I just want to thank everybody that has joined in the last 24 to 48 hours. I really do appreciate it. Now, let's get on. Our next caller. Who's it gonna be? Everybody is waiting to see. Right, I'm gonna bring on Yvette first, right, and then I'm gonna bring on my next guest after. But I want to bring on Yvette because Yvette probably needs to get some sleep, because she just be up early in the morning for our professor work or stuff, or quantum physics stuff. But yeah, we'll get Yvette on. I'll see if we're ready. Yeah. You ready? And Stephen Cassidy, I got your message on Messenger, so I've added you on Messenger as well. Okay, mate, just to let you know. Do you know what? Calls are great so far. Some great points being made. I know we kind of went a little bit off topic on some of them, but look, This is what this channel is about. We'll always talk about whatever's going on. And it's all interconnected in my opinion. All these little things that are going on, to try phase the word woman out. First it was to get rid of the word man and man. Now they're trying to phase out the word woman. And this is what all these little things do. And you see, the thing about it is that we're going to get into a situation where women are actually going to be, discriminated against again. It's going to happen again because, we go into all the other issues, which I won't get into, but, there's things going on with athletes, female athletes going up against transgender athletes, and the transgender athletes are just smashing every record. I mean, women themselves are actually in danger here with all this because, they're trying to get rid of the definitions, as I've said. They're trying to erase the word woman or what it actually means, the proper, what you call it, proper, in a dictionary, proper. When they say a word in a dictionary and they give you the definite, what are you doing anyway? You're supposed to be helping me when I get stuck.
Sorry.
That's what wives are there for, to help their husbands. You know what they say? Behind every great man, there's a great woman. Yeah. Yeah, but they're trying to change the definition. She's right. That's what they're trying to do. It's a lot of crap. What? Paul, listen, I love when people come on this channel and have a rant because people say I'm the only one that rants on this channel. So it's great when other people come on, they actually have a good old rant. Love it. I love it. Right. We're going to get on our quantum physicists. Physicists. There's so many isms.
Hello.
Uh-oh. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Of course I can. And I know what you're going to say, but I can't hear you.
Well, you're quiet as normal. I just have to put the phone to my ear. Right. Well, I'm going to have a rant.
Go for it. Is it going to be a whole 16-minute rant? Do I not have to open my mouth?
Oh, well, I'm going to try. I've got quite a bit to say.
Go for it then. I'm just going to sit back now and just listen to you. So go for it.
Really?
Oh, of course. I'm going to just sit back and listen to everybody tonight,
Okay. Well, I'm going to come from the standpoint of being a woman, all right?
Great.
I was there in that time zone when Pertwee did that. And it's an outtake, I might add, never hit the screen. And I can't tell you how many times I got asked to show you-know-what. It was funny. No one was offended. That's what it was like in those days. And it just pissed me off so much that this bottom-dwelling little shit in his mother's basement has used this. But to be fair, it's put Pertwee back on the map, and I think it'll just do Doctor Who some good. He's made it such a tit of himself, this kid. He really has. I mean, it's laughable more than I was angry, but after a while I'm thinking, nah. I can't stay angry at this because it's just ridiculous beyond belief. Anyway, let's talk about the Dalek. Oh my God. Well, all of you know I'm a Dalek fan. I have one of every one except the skirt Dalek. And this new one looks slightly better because it has that sort of what I'd describe as bumper car buffer around the bottom of it. And the colour's always good. Black's always good for a Dalek. It denotes power, doesn't it? The black ones are always sort of the leaders. And the RTD Daleks in the background, it's a hope. But unfortunately, it's going to... Well, we don't know if it's a Jodie episode or not. it could be Christmas 2020 without her. But I think it's probably the Christmas 2019, which they're still trying to get finished, and which will air probably in Easter. So, but my source told me that there was no way that got out without the BBC allowing it. So there you go. I've only taken 5 minutes.
Here's one for you now. I shit you not. I've actually seen this on Twitter, right? So apparently the reason why we have a black Dalek is because the black Dalek represents black people.
Oh my God!
Now,
I'm so sick of this planet.
This is what these people are saying. That's the reason for this black Dalek is because it represents black people. Now, listen. Here's the thing. Daleks don't distinguish from race. They don't, right? They kill anybody that isn't them. So it kind of already you're defeating the. This. I agree with you. This is just. Look, this is just someone saying this, right? That's on the rainbow crowd. This is not actually someone saying that's what this is. This is them saying it. It's their opinion, right? But for me, that just goes to show you the mindset with these idiots. It's not got to do with that. The Black Daleks came back because they just wanted the Black Dalek in it because the Black Dalek looks sinister. Let's be honest, we love the Black Daleks.
The Black Dalek donates all through Doctor Who. The black one was the leader.
I know, it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
It has nothing to do with people.
I know,
it's
but
an
everything.
Squidgy green thing inside a metal box.
I knew that'd start her off. That's why I said it to her.
Hey, look, I know a lot about Daleks. They're my favourites. I know it's not everyone's favourites, but they're mine.
Yeah,
And
Paul said it there. The
trust me,
evil of the Daleks had the force black Dalek. They were rebels against the supreme Dalek. Yeah, so that would fit in.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, so that would fit into what we seen on the bridge with the black Dalek being blown up. So the original Daleks are going after these guys.
Yep, and a lot of the really old black and white ones. I've got every single Dalek DVD that I could get that hadn't been deleted. I have them all, every single one. And there's always a black Dalek at the head of the old ones, except in the movies, the coloured ones. I've got all them as well. You know, the green ones, the purple ones, my bespoke pink and white one, if anyone saw that. I had that made. You know what? It doesn't matter what bleeding colour they are. They're aliens. They're green. And squidgy.
I just lost for words because it's they just have to put a label. They just can't have that and go. They just have to put a label on everything. It's like Super Ray as well in Star Wars. Like they just have to ship her with Finn because like they have to have something because Finn is such a shit character. He's been basically running around after fucking Super Ray for the whole fucking boxy film. Like, you know, it's ridiculous.
When it went to Disney, I didn't watch it. I told you no. I quit Disney after I saw Bambi. I have never watched Disney since. Ever.
Oh, it just annoys me. It's just tiring, all this bullshit. Can you not? I said this the last time, right? And I'm going to say it again. Hollywood types, BBC, and all these other companies have forgotten what their purpose is. Your purpose is to entertain the masses and not preach to them. And if you don't get the right actors and actresses and the right writers and directors to produce and write all these shows, and if you cannot leave politics out of entertainment, TV entertainment, then you shouldn't be in the business of TV entertainment. If you want to be a political activist, if you want to side with one group, right, and you want to fight for those, well then go do it somewhere else. Go and do it in those forums. They'll be using Doctor Who and other big franchises to push your ideology across.
All the franchises now, no, come on, all of them.
They're all
Have
gone.
you seen that one? Jesus Christ. I mean, I thought DC was going to fight it, but no, they folded.
They can't,
I'm
because these
disgusted
people
with them.
have something on them all. See, you have to remember, Paul made a very good point. Hollywood has been gay since God knows when. Sure, I watched a movie with Ben Affleck in it called Hollywoodland, and it was about George Reeves. But there was one scene in that movie where a male star was caught embracing some bloke, so they set up a date with this girl and got the press to go to where they were having dinner to kind of shepherd the fact that they were gay, because they didn't want people knowing that all these actors and even actresses were going around and being with the same. There was nothing wrong with that, but that's just the way it was back then. But it's madness.
That's La La Land for you know.
And by the way, that's why Scientology came about as well, by the way. If anybody wants to know how Scientology came about, that's how it came about, because all those stars that are part of Scientology, especially the men, most of them are gay.
And the others are just fucking barking mad.
Right. So if anybody is a fan of John Travolta, and I love him, I think he's a great actor, and I think especially over the years, I think he is absolutely fabulous. But there's one movie right out there that he's done well. There's probably several, but this one movie, in my opinion, right, is irrefutable fact that Mr. Travolta, without saying it, you know what I mean. It's called Urban Cowboy. Go and watch that movie, Urban Cowboy. It is a terrible movie, but go and watch him in that movie, right? Go and actually watch him in that movie. Tom Cruise, the same, right? They're all at it, right? Even South Park took the piss out of it a couple of years ago with R. Kelly. Tom Cruise and John Travolta are in the closet. Come out of the closet, right? There was a whole episode, right? They're in Stan's house and they're in the closet, and R. Kelly tries to get them out of the closet, and then R. Kelly ends up being in the closet with them. But it was slagging Scientology. It was a great blatant episode. But that's what it said. Seriously, that's what it's for. Like, these people protect these people.
Of course they do. The whole cult of Scientology is just unbelievable.
And I love Tom Cruise movies.
I've recommended Louis Theroux several times because he does excellent documentaries.
He does. I watch him myself. I watched the one he did with Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
It's banned now, but I watched it. Yeah, but I watched the one he did with Jimmy Savile. That was highly disturbing, actually. Now, for anybody that doesn't know who Jimmy Savile is the reason why BBC are in the state that they're in now. Because the BBC back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, there was a lot of paedophilia going on. And when he died, then the true nature of it came out. So the reason why BBC are in the position that they're in is because of this guy, Jimmy Savile. But this reporter, as Yvette has said, Louis did spend time with him.
Recommend him.
Yeah.
He's done.
This guy slept.
He also did. You were talking the other day about. Oh my God, I can't even remember now. I put it in the comments about Louis Theroux had done about the kids being gender changed as children, which is disgusting. Louis did a whole thing on that in America as well, and interviewed all these parents, and it was disturbing, and you could see Louis' face. I mean, he asked the questions so cleverly. He's very, very clever at the way he does things. If any of you guys haven't watched any, seriously, he's on I think he's on Netflix. Some of his things are on Netflix. Some of them
on YouTube
Amazon.
as well. By the way, some of it is on YouTube as well.
He is well worth your time.
He
won't be wasting it. Anyway, I would like to say one final thing, because my time's actually precious, and I only do in my spare time things I want to do, like spend time with you guys. But when it comes to television, I like escapism, right? And that's why I'm a Doctor Who fan, why I'm a Supernatural fan, why I'm a Farscape fan. I know you don't like it, Paul. And why I love Lex and why I love loads of other Warehouse 13, Grimm, Lucifer, all the stuff you can escape reality. Because that's what I want. I want to remove myself from reality and get lost in something that isn't reality.
Yeah, true.
And to me, that's what Doctor Who was. First and foremost, yes, all programs teach us things subtly in the old days. But now it's just, let's pound it in everyone's faces. So, yeah.
Here's one for you, right? And we're going to leave you with this one. It's a great question by Gary. Noel, have you vet tell us more weird animal stories? So you've got about 3 minutes there to give us any weird animal story or funny little story that you have before you head off. Is there one that you?
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell you what happened to me this morning. I was actually talking to Cheryl this morning, and
see what goes on.
I was heading out to the shops to get some cat food. This is at 6:30 this morning, and I went into the kitchen, and my 2 cats attacked me, pinned me in the corner of the kitchen. And this is abuse. This is abuse. Serious abuse. These 2 cats. And they wouldn't let me I had to give them a tin of tuna to get out of the kitchen. They were on me. These are my own pets. I tell you, I shouldn't be near any animals. Sorry, Rocket.
That's pussy abuse.
It is. Animals look at me and think, I'm going to abuse it. And that happened this morning. So, if I see a dog coming towards me, I cross over the road. I just don't take chances.
Nah, dogs are great. Dogs are great. I don't trust cats anyway, because they would. Cats turn on you like something else.
I don't trust animals, full stop.
Disloyal.
I mean,
cats are.
monkeys, I don't go near at all now, which I think you'll all understand why. And obviously, I've got stories about Gibraltar and the monkeys there. I was attacked in Gibraltar by the monkeys many years ago, and again not so long ago. And they're nasty bastards there too. They really are.
We like an old monkey.
I'll save that one for another day.
Yeah. Actually, save that one for tomorrow. If you're on tomorrow, if you're here tomorrow, then you can talk. There you go, guys. We'll have a nice.
And with all our new people, maybe the African story, if everyone can stand it, I'm happy to tell it again, because I know I have been up so many times by people I've worked with. I'll tell the story again, because people can't believe it actually happened.
That's a good idea. So, we'll get you to actually tell those stories. If anyone wants to hear it again,
I'm happy to tell it.
No,
but I don't want to bore everyone either.
Oh, no, you won't bore anybody. No, you won't bore anybody. That story was actually bleeding hilarious. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it wasn't at the time.
I know it wasn't at the time, and it's good that you're actually you're able to laugh at yourself, which is great, because it's only years later when you look at these things, you say, oh, that actually was fun, because if that happened to someone else, we'd be there. But when it happens to you, you're like, no.
The family bring it up frequently and laugh at me.
I say so. Yeah. But it's something to break the ice with, isn't it? Oh, do you remember that time there's a monkey origin there?
Yes, I'm the butt of most people's starters, I tell you.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, I heard the alarm, so I will say goodbye.
Goodbye.
And I love you, Cheryl. Love you. And you guys.
You forgot Ted.
And great to be on, Noel, as always.
Oh, you forgot Ted.
Oh, Teddy, sorry, baby boy. Mwah.
No. He's very. He's devastated. He's fucking devastated.
I blew my kiss.
Animal abuse. Go on, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Long way around with me.
We'll talk to you soon. Right? Thanks for calling.
Take care.
You too. Talk to you tomorrow. That was brilliant. See the fun we have on this channel. We always have a lot of fun on this channel, you know. We don't have agendas. We just do what we do. We get on with everybody. Nice little community. Everybody talks to each other. And, you know, I'm proud of that, to be honest with you. Oh, by the way, I just want to mention a few mentions first. So the weekend I will, I think it's happening on my channel. I have to double check first, but I can announce it because it is going to happen. I'm going to be doing an interview, or I'm going to be interviewed on someone's channel, a YouTuber that we know, fairly big YouTuber. So I'm delighted. I'm delighted to say that. So we're going to arrange that for this weekend, whether it'll be a pre-record or whether it'll be a live stream. We haven't decided yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it, to be quite honest. So yeah, so we're going to get on our last caller tonight. Cheryl didn't like that. She's like this. And I'm like, right, our next caller and our last caller of the evening. It wasn't even supposed to be a 3-hour live stream. It's not going to be a 3-hour live stream either, but it was just a stream because I wanted to hear people's opinions, because that really did. So last caller for tonight. And listen, as I've said, the support that I've had, and subscribers over the last 48 hours, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. People are asking, is Ballstrek coming on? Yous are all very, very funny. Well, it could be Ballstrek. It could be someone else. It could be almost anybody. Trust me. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I did say there's going to be things happening on this channel. So, you know. But we will... we'll have a few more people actually coming on as well. Over the next couple of weeks, I have interviews lined up. Some nice, good interviews with people that you will want to hear as well. So let's bring on my last guest for tonight. If my phone would only ring.
Hello, Noel.
Hello, Neil.
Hold on, I'm having audio issues then for a minute. I've left the audio on so I could hear an echo.
I can hear an echo.
I could for a minute, but I think I've sorted it.
Welcome. Right. Do you know what? I get accused of cutting across you all the time, and I do. So I'm going to try my very, very best not to this time, right? So, you already know what the topic of conversation is. Obviously, we've been talking behind the scenes on Messenger. We won't talk about that other thing right now.
No.
We'll just discuss what we have to discuss, and then I'll obviously ring you after this stream. We'll have a little chat. Right, so go ahead, Bleed. We'll start off because everybody was talking about Bleed and Cool first. We'll change it up with you first. We'll start off with this the Christmas decorations, the Christmas ornaments, that the video that I did. Have you watched it by any chance?
I know about the Christmas ornaments. I've been a bit busy today and I haven't watched all your videos. I'm very, very sorry.
You're grand, because I know you'll catch up on them anyway. So you're all right.
Well, I know about all the stuff, and so we're talking about the fact that they've used an old mold.
Yeah.
It's not really a surprise to me that they've used an old mold, because they've done it before. I mean, was I right in thinking that some of the new series figures was the one that was a Harry Sullivan repainted?
Yeah, I think they were saying that as well. Yeah, but they've been doing this quite a lot now, though. You know, I mean, Why? I know you can save
Yeah.
money and stuff like this, but this look,
Well-
do you know what? I don't have a problem with they've done that. Do you know what I have a problem with? I have a problem with the fact that it actually looks like David Tennant.
Yeah, I mean that's the biggest issue. This one is probably the worst one they've done. So we've got, when they've done it before, it's clearly to save money. They don't want to spend money on, as we've already heard from some of your sources' information, they don't want to spend money on Jodie Whittaker products because they're not selling well. So clearly they're going to go down the route of doing whatever they've been asked to do as cheaply as possible to maybe to fulfill whatever contract they're under at the minute. So it's not really a surprise that they're doing it. And as I say, the biggest thing is it looks bloody awful. I mean, it's. I only briefly looked at the pictures, and I don't know what eyebrows they put on it, but
I know they're like woo big S's or something.
They look more like a Vulcan's eyebrows from Star Trek. It's like, I just thought, what the hell is going on with that? But
I can't do it.
like I said, I don't think they've put any thought into this whatsoever because they don't want to spend money on her. They don't want to spend money on anything to do with her. We've already found out that magazine covers don't do as well when she's on them. The products aren't selling. We've got the Jodie Whittaker dolls all over that. I like the way you play with your eyebrow. But so it's just another nail in the coffin, isn't it? I mean, I've seen some poor attempts at faces on some of these figures over the years.
Yeah.
But I think that's probably the worst one I've seen.
That's definitely, if not, it's up there anyway. It definitely is up there. I mean, they're not, and here, the fact that they're not even using her TARDIS either, they're actually using, I think it wasn't Matt Smith the first one to have the St. John's ambulance symbol on his TARDIS, was he? I forget now.
He was in the new era.
Yeah, in the new era. Yeah, obviously in the new era. Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah, well, it's his TARDIS. They've basically used his TARDIS as well. Like, they're not even making an effort.
Now, I didn't look at the picture. I didn't closely look at the TARDIS. So it's not even her TARDIS?
It's not. They usually have the white sign is on it, and the St. John's ambulance sign is on it. They didn't even bother paint the white sign black the way it is in the new show. They definitely used an old mold.
I mean, what can you say, really? If they won't spend the money on changing, I don't know. I'm not privy to how expensive these things are to change these molds. I'm fairly certain it must cost them a few quid to change a mold.
Yeah, it must. But come on.
It's if they had any kind of faith in the product selling, they would spend that few quid.
I agree.
So, they obviously haven't got faith in this one selling at all. It's and like we say, I've seen some poor attempts at these figures over the years, but that one takes the biscuit. And if the TARDIS is blatantly not the right one, that's the trouble is though, big business doesn't really tend to care about the detail. They never do. I mean, some of the things I've seen in merchandise over the years where they're pushing something and they'll say, "Oh, look, buy this because it's Doctor Who," and you're just looking at it thinking, "Well, yeah, it might be a police box, but it looks more like the one that Corgi made years ago. It's nothing. It doesn't look anything like the police box that we know as the TARDIS." So some certain ones, but I mean, I'm guessing these decorations are actual licensed products.
Yeah, it was on the David Tennant. It was on the David Tennant Facebook page, so it's an official. Yeah.
Right. So if they're actually an official licensed product, see, most of the ones I've just been talking about, they're usually not licensed products, and they get away with it just by the fact that, like anything that's used the police box in the past, they could get away with it years ago because the BBC didn't completely own the rights to it.
Yeah.
But now, if it's a licensed product and they want to sell these licensed products, I mean, some people will buy it, some people won't care what it looks like, and they will just look at me. I've got this. I've got the new Doctor Who decorations. But if they want to sell a lot of them, you're talking convincing the fans.
Yeah.
The dedicated fans who buy anything. The ones who will literally go somewhere to buy something just to get the carrier bag with Doctor Who on or something like that, So if they wanted to sell a lot of these products, that's what they've got to do. They've got to make it right. And they've made these so bad that I can't imagine many of the dedicated merchandise players wanting to wait.
I'm at the pan. Listen to this. This is funny. I'm at to giving Cheryl a message on a piece of paper while you are talking, right? I threw it, and Ted is at the grabbing the thing and running into his bedroom. So, yeah. Oh.
That's what you get for, that's what you get for passing notes to the teacher.
But yeah, I mean, look, they're not even making an effort anymore. Looks like to me.
No,
I mean, like, look, we know they have. I'm not going to sit here and say we not that. I'm not saying they haven't done this process before. They have. The problem is that, like, when you do Zoom, it's Dave attended. They couldn't even get the Tardis right, and I will actually say so because people say I'm negative all the time about something, right? But I will say it's one thing about Jodie Whittaker's Tardis, especially the outside of it. It's probably the best looking Tardis that we've had in a while. I actually like the outside of her Tardis. I actually think it's a good Tardis. It is. I would rather that as a Christmas decoration to the one that they're actually selling it with. You know,
I mean, we're going back. Having the black sign is more like a Tom Baker TARDIS and a sort of, well, late John Pertwee, early Tom Baker TARDIS was the black sign, I think, wasn't it? The black, the door one, you know, the pull to open sign. The smaller, the only thing I don't like about Jodie Whittaker's police box is the actual police box sign above the door. I think they've made it too small. I thought the one from when RTD brought it back, I thought was too big. But then with this one, I think they've gone too small. So I know it's supposed to be more like the original looking police box sign, I suppose. But I just, yeah, I was a fan of the sort of 80s TARDIS. I liked the look of the police box when it was late Tom Baker and through Peter Davidson. I think it was pretty much, I think they changed it slightly when Sylvester took over, but it was pretty much the same police box from sort of, was it, they called it the Newbury box, was it? I think that's what they originally called that one. It was called the Newbury box, and it was after the farce that was the one which had literally the blue siren light on the top, which I never understand where they got that idea from, but the Newbury box was the one that I remember the most because it was the one I grew up with. And then this Jodie Whittaker one now is the closest to that one in terms of colour. They've put the little, I don't know whether most people noticed that the little sort of ridges above the door, above the windows, those are back on it, which have been missing since 2005. It's a more classic series looking police box than any of the ones we've seen in the new series.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that one. It's just when you fucking step inside the horrible looking thing is when it throws it all off.
Yeah, don't even get me started on her actual interior.
Seriously.
Or the fact that they've cheated so much that they don't have to use so many special effects by showing the complete box inside the TARDIS. None of them have ever done that. So, and it's all just done. See, Russell had that really, something that was missing from Classic Who was that you didn't see from the outside the interior of the TARDIS. And then apart from actually the only one I remember them ever seeing, it was in the pilot episode of The Unearthly Child, when they showed that again. On the DVDs, when they showed the pilot episode of The Unearthly Child. They actually tried to film it so you could see them going through and into the interior from the police box. Then when it actually got to the aired version, they'd cut that bit out.
Yeah.
Again, probably thought it was too much work all the time. But when Russell T Davies brought it back, that bit where he did so you could actually, I mean, we all know obviously it was in the studio then, but when you could actually walk through from the outside into the interior of the TARDIS without it being a camera trickery or anything like that, that made it feel more realistic. So now that they've done it this way, it's just cheating because they don't have to bother about seeing the inside of the TARDIS from the outside.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, I I remember when the photographs were leaked for Jodie's TARDIS interior, and your guy that designed it came out and says, you're all criticising, no proper lights on it and all. It doesn't do it justice. And then we see in the lights. Sorry, mate, but the Fortress of Solitude doesn't have a right to be in the TARDIS, you donk. And do you know what? It's off center. But here's the good news. According to our sources, which have been spot on so far, have said that there is a tidy up. That is the term that's being used for the interior of the TARDIS. A tidy up is going to be done. It's probably going to look a bit more central to what it does now, because if you actually look when you step inside Jodie's TARDIS, you will see that the console room is kind of to the side. It doesn't look like there's much space. So apparently there is going to be a little, as they said, they're going to do a little, what was the word I used?
The redesign, the title.
A real touch up, yeah. It's not a total redesign, so I don't want people saying to me when Series 12 starts, I thought you said the TARDIS was supposed to be redesigned. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they're just fixing little things in it. The console room might be a little bit more central to like the rest of the console rooms where in other TARDISes. That's the only difference, right? There's not going to be big, major, like, overwork done on it. So, like, you know.
Is it just, have you noticed, have you ever got around to watching the Tom Baker story, The Invasion of Time? The 6-parter at the end of Leela's run with the Doctor?
No, I'm in the middle of watching Pertwee. I'm gonna be obviously I'm near the end of his, so
I'm sure there'll be a few in the chat that have seen it.
Yeah.
And isn't the interior of the TARDIS reminiscent of the walls in the President's private room in that, which is Tom Baker's Doctor? He asks for that specifically to be. I don't want to spoil the story of Invasion of Time, but he asks for that to be done specifically.
We did watch Invasion of Time, didn't we?
I didn't.
Did you not? I did. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Bet's agreeing with me, so I think I'm right. Yes.
No, hold on. No, I did watch Invasion of Time. I'll know now by the cover. Hold on, because I watch it online. Now. My Alexi, this is the thing. I have classic episodes there, and I'm starting to build it up again. But everything that I'm watching now at the moment is either on laptop or I'm streaming.
Right, yeah.
So I'll know when I see the. Yeah, I did.
But
the Sontaran
basically,
one. Yeah.
in that story, it's about the.
No, I did see it's the Sontaran one.
The Sontarans try to invade Gallifrey, and the Doctor's been telepathically monitored. So he can't talk about what's going on, and he's got to pretend that he's trying to do things for the Sontarans.
No, I haven't seen it.
And he puts up he tells them to put up like a cladding.
Yeah.
On the walls of the room that he has to use, and the pattern of it just looks exactly like the walls of Whittaker's TARDIS. So I'm just wondering whether. After I sidetracked a bit, I'll get back to what I thought about it. I'm just thinking Chibnall must have watched that because it was around the time when he was a kid and just thought, I'll use that. Nobody will remember that before. So, as Paul just said, the President's office where he was being, it was the only room he could talk about what was going on without the Sontarans knowing what he was saying, basically.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to have been done in this specific type of metal that telepathic thoughts couldn't get through. Obviously, that's the sci-fi bit of it anyway. But the pattern on it, and I'm without rewatching the episode again, but I'm sure it's pretty much exactly the same as what's on Jodie Whittaker's TARDIS wall. Now, I can't imagine that piece of set is still hanging around, so I can't imagine it's the same one. So, but I'm just thinking Chibnall must have watched that and thought, that's unusual. I'll stick that up on the walls in the TARDIS. So it just again proves that he hasn't got an original thought. He's just cherry picked something from the time of the series when it was brilliant, and tried to incorporate it into what he's doing now. I mean, even that the crystal look of the inside of that TARDIS is a variation, if you ask me, on Tennant's. because he's gone for like, whereas Tennant's was what they jokingly called coral, he's gone for sort of like an unusually crystally type look. And I just think it was because and Tennant's not as dark as that, but it was a sort of darkish looking console room, and I think that's what he's aimed for, because again, he's just trying to cherry pick bits and pieces from what he's seen was popular and throw it all in together to make Jodie's series, which clearly hasn't worked.
Do you know, it's I'd actually have to agree with you. I think Chibnall has thought he's being clever. And I think you're right. Little references like that, little things added into that, the kind of, because for classic Who fans like us, we, as you said, we'd pick up on. Now I have, as I said, I have to go back and watch Invasion again, but I'm pretty sure me and Cheryl did actually watch that. But I'm gonna watch it again. But it is, if they have done what you've said they've done, well then that is, Chibnall is trying to be clever there, because he thinks he'll know that classic Who. Sorry, Ted. Well, he will know that classic Who fans will know that. And make the connection.
As Yvette's just pointed out, he's put the biscuit dispenser in purely because Matt Smith had the Jammy Dodger loving thing. So it's another thing, let's throw that in because people quite like that. Everybody talked about Jammy Dodgers and things like that. So we'll throw it in. We can't use Jammy Dodgers because that looks like we're copying too much.
So
we'll go for custard creams.
By the way, just to let you know on that one, because I actually do know this myself, but here's the thing. Jodie Whittaker was actually asked what biscuit she liked. Now, she didn't know what they were doing it for, but they actually surprised her. So when you see her do that again, and I'll have to bar you, right? The thing about it is that, what you call it, when she gets that reaction, right, in the show that we see, that's a genuine reaction because she didn't know they were going to do that. That was a little thing they put in there for her because, and the fact that the custard cream came out, that's our favourite biscuit. So if anybody wants to know what Jodie Whittaker's favourite biscuit is, it's custard creams. So there you go. That's the story.
But I mean, the whole thing's been done purely just to sort of copy popular elements from previous Doctors.
True. Sure, you just have to look at the faces she pulls.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
they're identical to our two predecessors before, or Tennant and fucking Smith, especially. They just cherry picked her right. We've said this before as well, and actually we should actually talk about that in another live stream. What parts of Doctor Who has Chris Chibnall cherry picked off other eras?
Well, you could cherry pick from the costume, couldn't you? I mean, the coat is basically Peter Davison's coat.
Yeah.
Just done a little bit more femininely.
Yeah. Suspenders.
The braces, Sylvester McCoy. Wasn't he the one with braces? And Patrick Troughton. So you've got a couple of doctors there that wore the braces. The rainbow thing is literally just the PC nonsense, isn't it? But and the hood is Capaldi. He was wearing his hoodies in the last, so.
Erasers?
What are bracers?
Bracers?
It's all braces.
Braces. What are those?
Braces.
Oh, I think you call them suspenders in America.
Suspenders. Thank you.
Braces. What? You don't know that word?
No, we don't use that term.
Oh my God! Use Americans. Use the right terminology, please.
To be fair, suspend your trousers, so it's close.
Yeah, well, but still, you think they'd.
Yeah, braces are what goes on your teeth to straighten them.
We call those braces as well, actually.
And hence the confusion.
No, it's not. It's because English people know the difference and the different meanings, the different words that sound the same, but use Americans for some weird reason.
We don't say braces when we're talking about trousers, and no, it's not talking about teeth because we haven't said braces on your teeth. Right. So basically, that's why we know it's not the braces on the teeth. But yeah, it is a bit daft that they are the same word, I suppose. But yeah, although don't get me started on the usage of words between sort of this side of the pond and that side of the pond, because I could be here all night.
Yeah. Right, we've actually run out of time, and that's going to be it now for the live stream. I'm done.
And I think I actually spoke more than you.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm amazed.
So it worked out tonight. Listen, as I said, I want to thank everybody that has subscribed in the last 48 hours. Please do us a favor and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Hit the like button as well if you've liked everything that you've heard here tonight on this live stream. And also, as I said, word of mouth is a great thing in this fandom. If you could also let people know about this channel, get them to subscribe and all that, every little helps, as they say. Now, as I said, I will have an upcoming interview this weekend. I'll also have a few more things in the pipeline as well. So that's it. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Thank you for all your points of view. I really appreciate it. Again, it's nice to see the fandom stand up to people like this Fluck fella that had a go at a doctor that we love. The support for that for John Pertwee is resolute. People here are showing, that this kind of behavior is not going to be tolerated from a little idiot that is offended by something that happened 20 or 30 years ago. Really need to give it a break. You are pathetic. Listen, Neil, I'll ring you back in a few minutes because we're going to be talking. I just want to throw on me dinner and stuff. I can't believe I'm actually saying that during the live stream, but I had to do the live stream, so I didn't even have me dinner yet. So I'm going to go and cook me dinner because in my house,
if I'd have left it and ruined it, the
yeah. But it's funny because people call me sexist. Well, I just like to let you know a little secret. In my house, I do the cooking. Yeah.
Yes, we know. Yeah.
I know. I don't care. And I'm gonna keep saying it. I do the cooking. Yeah, that's a real man, right? I don't go around and offended by every little shitty thing that happens. I get on with it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's the way it is. Right, Neil. Thanks for joining us. Great call as usual. I'll talk to you in a minute. Bye.
Bye.
And that's it, folks. That is Neil from Not My Doctor Who. I forgot to actually. I did it again. Do me a favor before you leave, before everybody leaves. Well, I'm not going yet. Give me another 5 minutes, right? I just have a little bit of a chat. Not My Doctor. I forgot to tell you to join his Facebook, YouTube channel. He'll put the links in the live chat there. Go and support your fellow YouTubers. Oh, we won. Oh, and to end on a positive note, my football team managed to score a goal and we won. Yay! Yeah. Well, listen, thanks everybody for joining me tonight. Again, it just goes to show you the type of rhetoric that this media will come out with, and we will stay on top of this. And of course, this channel, if any more news comes about, of course, remember I told you last night that there's rumors circulating that the 14th Doctor has been cast. Now, I will say one thing. I have gone to the usual sources and we're waiting for confirmation, but that is rumbling about that the 14th Doctor has been cast. So we will have to wait and see, of course. But again, don't forget to tell people about this channel, about the source information that we've been getting and how we have been right, because, we want to get as many people hearing the news, obviously, about Series 12 and everything else that's going on behind the scenes. And this is the channel to see all this happen. And obviously, as we say, any more news in the Doctor Who universe, we, along with other YouTubers out there, Ballstrek, Matrix Lord 212 and others like that, will give you the news. So see you all soon. And again, thanks Matrix Lord for actually sending me that photograph in the first place of the Jodie Whittaker doll. The David Tennant doll pretending to be Jodie Whittaker. That was brilliant. Thanks for that. I really appreciate that as well. So talk to you all tomorrow night. At 10 o'clock, the usual time, live stream, or the live chat will be up an hour beforehand, the usual crap, and I will talk to you all then. So have a good night. Goodbye. So long. Farewell. It's time to say good night.